Hi friends, welcome back to the channel, and this is your daily news. So I feel like today's topic is digital angst, and I want to start with this, and I think you'll see where we're going here. You can look at this. Montana bans TikTok for all residents. Crazy. It's the first state in the country is banning TikTok. So if you're in Montana, I want to hear from you. Did they send out the word somehow? Do you get a message on your phone automatically, like a text message or something that says TikTok is being banned? I just don't know how that would work. This is the quote, so it's from the governor, Greg Giaforti, and he's saying here, the Chinese Communist Party using TikTok to spy on Americans, violate their privacy, collect their personal, private, and sensitive information is well documented. Today, Montana takes the most decisive action of any state to protect Montanians' private data and sensitive personal information from being harvested by the Chinese Communist Party. So again, that is Montana banning TikTok. The military, Chinese military is maybe using AI. This is according to the ex-Google CEOs, like saying, hey, we got to be worried about these things. And is this part of this digital angst? And someone was even asking me in the comments to make a video about, AI and military. Maybe we'll do that in the future. I think that's a good one. I will say that this has sort of been the buzzword as of late, but it's something that's been coming for a while. And also, too, AI is a real broad word. So, don't necessarily think it all means one thing. Not everything means Terminator. Here's more about the Montana thing. Montana becomes the first state, right, to ban TikTok over securities. And the key thing that was crazy, you got to hear this for yourself. Montana's new law will ban downloads of TikTok across the state and fine any, quote, entity $10,000 per day for each time a person in the state is able to access the social media platform or download the app. The penalty would not apply to users. So I'm not sure how they're going to figure this out to where what an entity is, and you're going to be fined 10 grand a day if someone's using it. If you guys have an idea about this, please let me know. I was reading this what? How are you going to do this? Already there's going to be some fight against this. Are you, blocking our freedom, these kind of things. So me personally, I don't like TikTok. I think TikTok is dumb content. But I don't know if necessarily you can pull it off in this way. So I'm not necessarily disagreeing with the ban. I'm not saying that. I'm just not sure how you're going to do the $10,000 per day thing on entities. So I'd love to hear people's thoughts on that one. That was crazy. And more in this digital angst sort of crazy world that we're in. Get this. There was someone at Apple, an ex-employee is basically accused of stealing tech and then running away to China. It's a real thing. It's the headlines. I'm laughing because it's what the heck? This is the world that we live in. You got to have a sense of humor about it, really. DOJ charges former Apple engineer with theft of autonomous car tech for China. So this is the the lawsuit here. You got this is Northern District, California, United States government versus Wei Bao Wang. And I was looking at this. They're saying that he stole all kinds of stuff. So we got 6 counts here. Entire autonomy source code. Oh, geez. I was back in 2016. Tracking for autonomous systems, behavior planner for autonomous system, architectural design, descriptions of hardware systems, including architecture modules, power and inputs, motion planner. And this is my understanding of it. So he was hired by Apple. And then before he quit Apple, it was about 4 months before he quit, he was hired by another company in China. And I'm sure they gave him the order of hey, we'll give you a job and start, taking everything you can. So evidently he was taking loads and loads of data. And then I guess he works for Baidu now. This is right here, Baidu exec. That's where they think he's at. And it is crazy because this is all back in 2016, 2018 kind of stuff. This is 5 years later. My understanding, I was looking at the thing myself, I think a lot of this stuff is under seal. It probably deals with so many sensitive things this, for example. My understanding is not everyone at Apple knows even that this division was officially existed, although it's been rumored for a long time. It was like 4% of the company kind of thing. And it was funny when you read through the thing, it'll say people at Apple were only on a need-to-know basis of this sort of division. And this is sort of how things are over there. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one. But this is a real problem. And it's funny because I brought this up to my wife. I was like, hey, did you hear about this Apple thing? It's crazy. And she's like, well, it happens at Samsung too. So for example, this was just a few months ago. Leaking chip secrets to China results in jail terms for ex-Samsung employees. Basically we're saying here, and this is real, trade secrets are worth money. I'm sure you guys know this. Like, for example, I'm waiting for that Apple flippy phone. I'm sure they're making a flippy phone. There's been, rumors, and we know Google's just pulling out, and I think that's sort of where the direction is going. And so you kind of all want to know like what each other is doing. And here's another example of the trade secret one. This was also today, and again, this is like your digital angst thing. You can read it here. Citadel Security alleges ex-employees stole trade secrets. And the photo they use is kind of a weird one, but I'll let you guys make decisions on that. I just thought it looked at first I thought it was a painting, but then I think it might actually be a photo. I'm not sure. I'm still kind of split up that's painting or photo. But anyway, this is the two guys who are involved with this. And the quotes are hilarious on this one. So this is from Citadel saying, I'm including the two guys you just saw. The pair engaged in brazen scheme to steal Citadel Security's trade secrets, lie to their Citadel Securities colleagues, and raid the ranks of Citadel employees. And then in response, the two guys that they're accused of stealing stuff from Citadel, that they're saying here, this claim is the latest step in a campaign by Citadel to seek and prevent Portofino from going about its legitimate business. It is unmeritorious, anti-competitive, and a classic example of corporate bullying. So my opinion is, and I don't know, I have no idea, I would say probably they stole it the same way I think probably the Apple guy stole the stuff and took it to China. So just my opinion. But to be fair, everyone has their day in court, and you innocent or proven guilty. But if you have to ask my opinion on that stuff, I think probably all these bad things happen because we're kind of in this digital angsty world, right? I just feel like that's sort of where we are. And it's funny because Elon Musk, to his credit or discredit, however you want to look at it, he's kind of trying to push back, and I'll read the headline here. Elon Musk slams working from home as morally wrong, says the laptop class is living in la la land. And I'd be curious if you guys agree or disagree with Elon Musk of whether or not working from home is morally wrong. And, going back to digital angst, so we're in this transitioning period of like, no one knows what's moral or right. And from Elon Musk's point of view, we'll read here. I think it's an interesting point of view. There are exceptions, some exceptions, he says. But I think that the whole notion of work from home is a bit like the fake marionette quote, let them eat cake. It's like, really, you're going to work from home and you're going to make everyone else who made your car come to work in the factory, right? So the argument is that, well, some people have to go in the factory. Why are you so special at work from home, right? You're going to make the people who make your food, they can't work from home. The people that fix your house, they can't work from home, but you can. Does that seem morally right? That's messed up. So I don't know what to make of what he's saying, but and it's funny because this is one of those rare occasions, and this is over from Fox News. If you look at the comments are like, no, Mr. Musk, I want to work from home. You were wrong on this one, because normally they like to basically at Fox News comments, they like to just say, the libs are all wrong and they're all idiots and libtards, stuff like that. But this time, their hero, Elon Musk, is sort of like challenging the work from home thing. And I think if you ask this regular worker on the street, if you can do your work from home and it's the same as in the office, do you want to drive, 30 minutes to the office every day? I'm pretty sure most people are going to say no. I think probably the higher chance is a hybrid sort of situation, but we'll see. There's an interesting article. I don't have it put up right here, but I'll just tell you what it was. Is commercial real estate prices have come down the first time, I think it's something like 2011, something like that. So I do think there will be a change, especially if companies need to cut costs, and if work from home does that, we'll see more trends that way. Elon Musk is also in the news, and again, this is not necessarily related to digital angst, but more just crime in general. He's being subpoenaed over, JP Morgan lawsuit and the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. And it's simply because I do see Epstein headlines that they do every day. I don't cover it every day because I don't really follow this one particularly closely, to be perfectly honest. I know what it is generally, but I guess Deutsche Bank, they settled a lawsuit for $75 million. And it was interesting because I was thinking to myself, why am I not following this one particularly? Is because, and this is just how it is, there's certain times or certain years where I'm just not, into following every single scandal out there. And then during the period of when the whole Epstein thing, it was like 18, 19, and we were out of the country. I was working on a film project, and also I got married. So, I just had my mind on other things. The whole Epstein thing, though, I will say it is disturbing and troubling because it involves a lot of people, and then really a lot of people at the top. So if you don't know what it is, he basically human trafficking, a lot of bad things going on at bad parties, and involving underage girls. and a lot of famous names are involved. I mean, I was just looking at just a list, but it's like Trump, Clinton, Woody Harrelson, Harvey Weinstein, Michael Jackson's on this list, Tony Blair, Bill Gates, and just the list goes on. So what I don't like about when people talk about the Epstein thing, they only pick out one or two names of people they don't like, and they don't really go into like it's all kinds of people. So I don't try to play any sides. It just literally to show you the list. It's all kinds of people involved with this thing, and it's not good. Evidently, he was trying to videotape people doing things and then blackmailing him, or at least trying to blackmail. And then he hurt himself in prison, didn't wake up, kind of thing. And if I had to guess, it just seems like there's no way that was self-inflicted. So that would be my thing. I just when you involve too many powerful people, and if you got videotapes of powerful people, I'm pretty sure that that's what happens to you. So we'll see. And this reminds me of sort of like I guess the way I think about the world these days when I go through all the headlines, and this is just one more I just want to show you. Here we go. France opens investigation into Apple over alleged planned obsolescence for smartphones, meaning that France is saying, hey, Apple, you make it so that your phones die in 2 years, and you do that on purpose. You have the tech to make them longer. But, and when I read this, I was thinking this sort of captures the news of the day, is that I am kind of more shocked if people are honest and kind than shocked that they're not. And so I just feel like we have to go to the assumption these days that people do evil things and people are evil. Or better way to say, in self-interest. And when we talk about evil, it's actually kind of funny because you can talk more like Dungeons and Dragons kind of stuff. And yes, I like Dungeons and Dragons, but there's like lawful good, chaotic good, and like lawful evil, and chaotic evil. But the basic gist of it is like, are you doing things for self-interest or to help others? And then are you believing in law or not believing in law? And for something like this, I don't know if you would consider Apple chaotic good or chaotic evil. We'll put on the evil side, or neutral good, neutral evil, whatever. But that's sort of my question for you guys when you read this kind of headline. It's kind of a geeky question that Apple may be planned obsolescence. What is the sort of the alignment? I think that's the phrase. Would you put Apple in according to Dungeons and Dragons? So I'll leave it with that kind of question. It's kind of a fun one. But again, I am not surprised if this kind of thing happens. And I'm sure there are a lot of tech companies that essentially hold tech back because, and this is how it is, you don't want to throw all of your, best stuff into one product. You want to save something so you have a new product to sell every single year. That's just, common sense business. But I think the planned obsolescence thing will be interesting, whether or not particular countries might find that illegal, right? Like you're kind of gouging consumers. Again, which I wouldn't be shocked. Nothing in this thing today shocked me, other than the how can I say, the lateness of the open charges against the person who's stealing the Apple car tech. I think that's an interesting one, meaning that it was so public so late, and this is like stuff happened 5 years ago already. So anyway, that's been your daily news. Please share your thoughts. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the TikTok one too. That's pretty cool. And I'll catch you next video.